Hello, welcome to another video. If you're new here, subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. Without further ado, let's get into it. Today we're going to be going over the best guns in Modern Warfare 2, and these are also the ones you should have ready for Warzone 2. First up, we got the Signal 50, which I call the Sentinel. This is probably the best sniper in the whole game. It just feels nice, girthy. You just get consistent one-shots, and you can kind of spam it a bit. Honestly, this is everything that I wanted the 50 cal to be in Modern Warfare. This is the current class setup that I'm using in Modern Warfare 2. Everything is built out for speed. If you did want to, you could put a suppressor on and get just a little bit more bullet velocity and damage range. But right now, I pretty much rock it with only 4 attachments. This is what I'm doing if it's like 6v6, if it's a normal map. But if I do go onto a bigger map, I will put on this suppressor if I'm going like ground war and invasion. And then next up, we got the best secondary in the game, or the best all-around secondary. The Desert Eagle and the Magnum are very, very good. You can get consistent one-shots with them. This is the class setup that I was running around with. The only difference is with the barrel. This is technically the best barrel, but I put on this one just because it just looks better. And you also have the freedom of putting snake shots, which are very viable. Moving on, we're going over to the ARs. This is what I'm using for the M4. This is more of like a speedy build. I think aim, walk, and movement speed is single-handedly the most important stat in the entire game. This is what's going to give you straight speed, moving side to side, and people like to pre-aim so much in this game. So sprint to fire and aim, walk, movement speed are single-handedly the most important things in my opinion. So this is the best class setup that I would use within Modern Warfare. In Warzone, this is probably the barrel that we're going to be running with, but this is pretty much what I use for multiplayer, and this is very, very viable. It's more of a speedy build. And then next up, we got the best AR in the game in my opinion. This thing is absolutely broken. A good nerf for this would be just to like lower the headshot multiplier. But this is more of a speedy build. You can see that there's no downsides on the stat bar. This thing is just an absolute beast. All these guns, you want these guns at least max level for Warzone 2. Next up, we're moving over to the SMGs. We got the K9, which I think is the best SMG. Now you can see right here, I only have 4 attachments on here, and that's really just because like all the rest are just going to hurt you. Like if you put on a bigger mag, it's just going to slow down your ADS speed and your movement speed. And then if you're running like ground war invasion, you can put on this barrel, which is going to give you bullet velocity and recoil control. But overall, if you're just running 6v6, I think this is a perfect build. You even got the suppressor to give you even just a little bit more bullet velocity and damage range out of it. I think the MP5 is still one of the best SMGs. It's definitely nerfed from the beta, but I think this is one of the better SMGs. I have it more of like, I'm just going to barrel stuff you and get in your face. One thing that I don't really like that they changed is that the rear grip on the MP5, I almost said P90, on the MP5 is that they don't have like a sprint to fire and ADS one. So this is like the best one that I came up with. I was still slaying. There's a lot of things you can move around. I did put a muzzle on this one just because I do feel like the MP5 does have a bit of recoil and it has no stock, just, you know, to get as much movement speed and sprint to fire speed as possible. And like I said, this is like more to get straight up in your face. Again, this one only has 4 attachment slots taken. You could put on like one of these mags. I would only put on the 40. I think 50 is just a bit too much and you're going to slow down way too much. If you're going to put on any barrel, I would only put on this one. All the rest are just going to hurt your recoil way too much. And then next up, we're going to single-handedly the best gun in all of Modern Warfare 2. This is the SPR. In my opinion, the SAB50 is the best version, which is just like lower in the family tree. It's just like one notch lower. This is the best class setup right here. And for tuning, I got it like completely maxed out to where it's just max sprint to fire and max ADS speed. This thing is absolutely insane, and it is 100% going to be nerfed. So if you want to abuse it while you can, I would please suggest you don't do it in my lobby. But yes, this is probably the funnest thing to use. Sniping in this game is really easy in my opinion. This is the best class setup that I was running around with. There's so many things. You could literally take off the barrel, put on there's literally no stock on this. Like there's so many things you could do. There's even chambering speeds and all that shit. This is a really, really good gun, and it's definitely broken. You could even run no sight on it and get even more ADS speed. Take this off, put on no stock. I mean, look at down there. Look at the mobility and handling. This thing is insane. It's 100% broken. Right here, this is the best shotgun in my opinion. This is a straight up hip fire build. We got the biggest barrel. We got the choke on there. We got the laser and the underbarrel, which are going to help you the most with hip fire accuracy. And then we got no stock on here, just so you have as much mobility as possible. And then moving on to my favorite guns in the whole entire game, we got the AUG right here. This AUG, you can actually get an instant sprint out time with it. If you just mess around with the tuning like I have, where you just put max sprint to fire and max ADS speed. This is the best class setup that I was running with. I do have a sight. This does have really clean iron sights, but there's not too much else you could really mess around with. You could put on this combat stock on here to get even more sprint to fire and more ADS speed. Like I said, you can have an instant sprint out time with this gun, which is super broken. That is definitely going to get fixed, but again, you could abuse it while it's still here. Now moving on to my personal favorite sniper rifle. This is lower in the family tree of the SPR sniper rifle variant. It's not a marksman rifle like the first two, and also it just looks and reminds me a lot of the intervention. This is the best class setup that I was running around with. And again, when you go into tuning, I go max ADS speed and max aim walk maximum mid speed. I want this thing to be as fast as possible. Unless I'm going on like ground war, then I will take off the barrel and I'll just put on like one of these. Yeah, I'll put on this one if I'm gonna run like ground war invasion. This thing is satisfying. It sounds really good. The chamber speed, especially with this bolt, it happens almost instantly. The AUG and the SPX 80 are definitely my two favorite guns in the in Modern Warfare 2, in my opinion. These are the ones that I'm gonna be running around with if I want to have fun. And I do have a few of them platinum. I have a lot of the guns gold, almost all of them besides all the shotguns and the LMGs. Those are all that's left. Anyways, if you're new here, subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. Until next time, peace.